I work in the theater industry in live events and stuff like that, handling lights and sound for plays and live performances, and also conferences and like all those sorts of live experiences. I'd always had some struggles with mental health, but the past 2 years were particularly challenging. Like basically my purpose for being has for everybody's safety had to be shut down, and it just there was a lot of time. I guess there was a lot I had to deal with there for a lot of periods of time, especially in that first winter of 2020. It felt like, oh, there's no end in sight here. Like this is going to be, and that kind of sense of hopelessness and powerlessness is really challenging to get around. I will say that, like, as I kind of alluded to, some of these issues have been bubbling under the surface for a little while. I definitely have been dealing with these sorts of things. I think the biggest preconceived notion that I had, though, would have been that, it's not for me. Maybe it's not like, taking the time to work on my mental health is not, it's there are more important things to deal with, right? My family doctor was the one who finally told me that, like, when we discussed mental health options, he was the one who actually said, like, there are all of these groups that you can go to, and it's not going to cost you $200 or $500 to talk to somebody. So the group program was an interesting experience for me. When I started it a few months ago, that was the first time I'd ever been a part of any sort of group counseling experience. It's hard, it's hard to talk about this with one counselor that I know is like, this is a non-judgmental relationship. It's hard to talk about it with people that I love. And now I'm kind of being asked to talk about it with strangers. But once we were all able to open up, there was this realization that, like, oh, we're all kind of going through very similar things. Like, our life experiences might be different, but the specific mental health struggles that we're dealing with, there's a lot of overlap between all of us. It's not like a magic pill that's instantly changed all my life. I'm not going to say that I don't still struggle with these things. And there are definitely days that are harder than others. But what I've gained is the ability to communicate with the people around me, to let them know what's going on, and to feel supported when those things get rough. It's taking your car to a mechanic, right? Stuff happens and you just need to talk it out with somebody else, right? It's nice to know that resource is available.